everyone. Welcome to the Empowered Living Show. I am your host tonight. My name is Lisa Mizels, and I'm the founder of this show. This is my baby, and I think everybody knows that at this point, this is my baby. This show is about empowering women and empowering all of our listeners. We have men and women, but it's really a movement for women's empowerment to step up in ourselves and to really become all of who we are, and to be able to hear the stories that the entrepreneurs, my guests that come on and speak about their story of struggle to success and what they found, the gift that they found in that struggle. And so it allows everybody to have a fresh new perspective on life and have some new tips to work on in our own lives. And I just love it because I get to learn every time I do one of these shows. And I want to thank Maggie, my assistant, for being here. Maggie Avery, she's a certified social media consultant, and she's been helpful the whole year and a half that this show has been going on. And I want to thank my partners at Inspiration Unlimited e-magazine for hosting and producing this show. This show wouldn't be what it is without them and without you, my listeners. And lastly, but not leastly, I want to introduce my guest tonight, my beautiful guest tonight, who's Michelle Reinhardt. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lisa, and lovely to meet you, Maggie. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
I'm really excited. So I'm just going to tell the listeners a little bit about you and what you're going to be talking about tonight, because you're going to just get an incredible gift with Michelle. I'm really excited about this. So she's going to be talking about self and soul mastery. And she'll be telling you why people aren't achieving success in their lives and achieving, having the life that they want. And the 4 great questions everybody faces, and then the mind, body, and soul triad, and how to transmute energies. So Michelle is a serial entrepreneur. She's a healer. She's a creator of the Divine Online Community for over 5,000 spiritual entrepreneurs, as well as she hosts the Entrepreneur, okay, let me see if I get this right. The Entrepreneur, tell me what it is, Michelle.
The Entrepreneurs Globally Unite podcast.
Globally Unite, that's right, podcast for awakening and emerging entrepreneurs. And she is the creator of the Self and Soul Mastery. So she does it all to be able to connect and empower special souls like everyone listening here, so that together we can change the world. And she says, one breath and one heartbeat at a time with love. And I just love that. I love that. So thank you so much, Michelle, for being here. I'm really excited to talk to you. And I think we could just start by having you tell us a little bit about your story and how you got to where you are today and doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Lisa. Well, it wasn't easy. Let me say that straight up. Nothing worthwhile ever is. The catalyst for my journey was personal, financial, and emotional collapse. The big ones. And I'm quite sure that I'm reaching into the heart of many listeners here, because most of us that have been called to step up and light the path for others have experienced one, if not all, of those. Yeah, so we lost our home. We lost our business. It was pretty much in one foul sweep. We were negligent, I guess, is a great way of putting it, because you can't blame anyone else for what's going on in your life. We dropped the ball and trusted too many people, one in particular, and they took us for a ride. It wasn't a nice one, but boy, it's been worth it in the long run.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny how those things that we look at that we've gone through in our life, and they're like, if it just didn't happen. But then if it didn't happen, we wouldn't become who we are, right?
Yeah. And one of the really important things I have come to embrace is that life happens for us, not to us.
Mm-hmm. I love that saying, and I say it all the time. I thank you for bringing that up, because it does. It happens for us. Everything that's happening in our world, whether it looks like it or not, is really happening for us to become more of what we're here to become, is my belief. What do you think? What do you?
I agree completely. I feel that we are the leading role in our own movie.
Yeah.
And we get to cast the rest of the show. We get to have the highlights. We get to also have the lowlights by including the energies that are of that frequency. I these days am able to align very quickly to the highlights, fortunately. But yeah, that's a journey in itself, and we get there by doing our due diligence and uncovering our truth.
Yeah, and thank you for bringing that up. And so you lost almost, I mean, you lost everything. You had, that's emotionally straining for probably years, until you kind of unravel it. So what do you think was the turning point when you started to get into the healing and building your online presence and podcasting and all of that stuff to really step up?
Lisa, thank you for asking that. I was on track. I was a spiritual healer. I was a remedial masseur. I was on track. And then I had my beautiful girls 20 years ago, and I became a full-time mum, which I loved, but I lost me.
Yeah.
I actually started in an admin role in my husband's company, and I literally stopped massaging. I sold my table. I sold everything that was me. And when we went into such a financial whirlwind, I couldn't even afford to buy a table to start it up again.
Oh, it's crazy.
And I remember the very last, the straw that broke the camel's back was my sitting at the front of our home. The sold sign had been stamped on. I sat down and I burst into tears, and my then 10-year-old came up and put her hand on the back of my shoulder, and she just said, "We'll be all right, Mom." And I'm getting emotional just thinking about it, because I didn't know how we were going to be okay.
Yeah. But children do. They trust. You know?
Thank goodness someone did.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did you how did you get from that place to this, where you're working with energy and with other healers and creating this, beautiful platform that you've created online with the Globally Unite?
Well, I through my hope and trust in faith, I actually became a church member for the first time in my life. I became a Salvation Army advocate, and they took me under their wing, and they showed me a different way. They brought me into their community, into their hearts. They helped us financially, emotionally. They were just extraordinary. And once I'd done that, once I had literally put my hand out to God, things started to shift.
You're the second one that said that today, or that I've kind of that's gone into my face today about that. Just when you put your hand out, it appears. When you call out, help appears.
Yeah. And that's exactly the way it was for me. And people started appearing in my life to help. Everything shifted. And I also, the other big thing I did was I started to make time for meditation, for prayer, and for nature.
Yeah. Yes. Now, you already knew that because you're a healer, and so it's just a matter of the shifting of your priorities, right?
Yeah, it was a matter of shifting priorities. And it's funny because I used to think I was too busy for those things. And once I created space and time for those things, I had more space and time for other things.
Isn't that interesting? It's like exercise. Whenever I stop exercising and I think, I don't have time to fit it in, and then I do, it's like, then you have more time. It's just
more time, more energy.
Yeah. That's great. And so tell us a little bit about energy and frequency and how that works in our, how do people recognize that?
Okay. I love this topic. This is my favorite. This is where I start all my clients with understanding how we are attracting what is in our life. Whether we like our life or not, we are wholly and solely responsible for it by the vibrations and frequencies we emit through our thoughts, our feelings, and our emotions. Quite literally, when we have a thought, we feel it in our body, then our body processes it the best way it can. Normally, it goes into our past because that's all it knows. So it goes through the reticular activating system and it looks for a match. If you're trying to tell it something new, like a brand new affirmation or something like that, and it's not in the memory bank, it won't accept it.
Spit it back out.
It does. It spits it back out and it goes back into the memory bank to find a match. And that match will be of a frequency that is vibrating at a similar vibration.
Yeah.
So usually people that come to me are lost. They're pretty low, lonely, don't know how to fix it, what to do about it. So just by understanding that, looking at your world as it is today, you're a magnificent manifester because you've done it all yourself.
We all are,
whether you like it or not, you've done it all yourself. So then it's just a matter of shifting frequencies so you get more of what you do want and less of what you don't want.
So if the reticular activating system is looking for something, for a match, and there isn't a match, how do you create a match? How do you create something so that you accept it?
Okay, really great question. So this is where repetition comes in to play, and this is where affirmations are fantastic. First thing we have to do is get more happiness and joy and love and peace in our energy center, in our system, so that we are attracting that frequency. Now, with the affirmations, the only problem I have with them is the subconscious brain looks at you wanting to be a millionaire and it says, bullshit.
That's not in that memory bank.
It's just too far from the truth, and that's where people trip up. There's two ways they trip up, I believe, by putting it out there that you don't believe it. It's so far out of the field that it's impossible to even think of. And the easy way to overcome that is to create a bridging affirmation. So it's something in between that's possible. It might be doable. It's something that you can lean into.
Something like that's exciting for you, like when you're looking forward to a vacation, that kind of energy.
That's right. Exactly right.
Yeah.
But how do you look forward to a vacation when you're flat broke?
Right. So give us an example of a bridge affirmation.
Okay. So just to ask the questions, and there's 4 really powerful questions that people start to ask when they're ready to shift, when they're ready to awaken, if you like, ready to step up. The first one is, when we leave everything after our birth behind, who are we?
Yeah.
At that very core essence, before our belief systems have been implanted on us, before we've implanted any on ourselves, who are we?
Love.
We are. Yes, we are. And that's the end, the be all, the end all. That's what we've got to get to. And until we can have that love of self, we can't omit that vibration. So it's not going to find us. So it all starts within.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's such an important point for entrepreneurs, because that's where that confidence piece comes in. When you're not sure of yourself, you're almost repelling other people because it's like it's bouncing off of you. The energy, you're putting out energy that you're not sure of yourself. And so you're not attracting clients, or you're not attracting people. And when you can build up that confidence, then you start to attract. Am I getting that right?
Oh, you're absolutely getting that right. So back to the frequency thing, just to help make that a little bit more clearer. So Lisa, you're sitting here on a frequency that's vibrating okay, mediocre, yeah? So you're sitting there and you're thinking, oh, yeah, I'm going to go to work and that'll be okay, or there might be a few people that are going to piss me off, whatever. And you come home and the kids are okay, one might be a bit sick or whatever, and so that's your frequency, that's what you're vibrating at. Your every thought, feeling, emotion, action is in that frequency, okay? So that every time you think something, that frequency goes out to the universe, right? And it goes and finds a perfect match. And it goes, that's what Lisa asked for. Let's give her that. It's exactly what she wants. Let's give her more of that. Yeah. And the universe is ecstatic because it's delivered exactly what you wanted.
Yes.
Okay? It doesn't do the crap that our brain goes through. It doesn't have the filter.
Right. Yeah.
It only gives you exactly what you ask for. So by leaning into the possibility that tomorrow could be brilliant, there could be miracles out there. You deserve a big money miracle. By just leaning into that, you can get a little bit excited. And then the universe goes out and say, oh, she's actually looking for this too. Let's find that, And it just goes through this beautiful picking field. And that's where the game of life becomes magical and fun. Yeah. Because you do become a creator of miracles, of magic, of joy, of happiness. And that's where you find all those people on that vibrational level that lift you up, that you start, and that's also where we tend to find that we have to make decisions of leaving others behind sometimes, those that aren't allowing us to hold that frequency of growth. And that can be a really tough time for people, particularly for entrepreneurs, for anyone.
I see a lot of that with entrepreneurs. And I wonder I wonder if it has to be that way, because as we're emerging, as we're expanding ourselves, maybe our loved ones aren't there. But that doesn't mean that, or does it? Does it mean that we need to separate, not attach? Or can we grow and expand and become... I guess it just depends.
I feel if we can be non-judgmental towards others, we can be all accepting.
Yeah. Because it's all about love, right? And self-love. And when you have deep self-love, you attract, that's your reflection, is what you're looking at. Mm-hmm. So you're attracting that. I love this subject, Michelle. It's awesome.
I found also too, when I started stepping up and really respecting and honoring and loving myself, I was encouraging unconsciously those around me to do the same.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that I can see that in my own life. I can definitely see that in other people's lives. So yeah, it's so powerful. Now, you talked about the four steps. You talked about the first step is the first question that people ask, which is,
so who are we? Which is huge, and that can take some time to get to. But at the end of the day, we are a child of God. We are love, and nothing more or less than that. And we deserve everything. Everything. We're no different to the most famous people, your mentors. We're no different to anyone. It's our thoughts that make us different.
Yeah.
And our beliefs. But so who are we? The next big question is, where do we come from? And I've tapped on that just in that previous statement, because we do come from God. We are breathed to life by God. And the last thing we do before we go back there is our last breath goes back there. So every single breath we take, if we can include that every breath we take in, we actually add it to the light of the world as we breathe it out. We grow in our love, in our expansion, and we can actually reset our neuroprogramming by just doing that simple thought, by waking up in the morning and accepting the breath of God and giving it back for the light of the world. Reprogram, reset.
So simple and so powerful. Wow. I love the way you describe that very simply. I think everybody can do that. Everybody can. And when you say it resets, Tell people what just that little thing can do for them.
Well, the very first thought, our waking thoughts in the morning precede our day. And if you wake up and think, oh, crap, I've got to go to work, or
Here we go again.
yeah, well, guess what? That little frequency's going, here it is, bring it on.
Yeah.
Whereas if I may just share my affirmation, my morning affirmation.
Yeah, please.
I affirm with the deepest recesses of my heart that I am my I am presence. I am one with my Father and Mother God. And in loving gratitude, I accept my gift of life. And I ask my I am presence to consecrate every thought, word, feeling, and action I express throughout this day with divine love and infinite gratitude for the opportunity to add to the light of the world.
Wow.
And so it is.
Beautiful.
It takes 1 minute.
It's beautiful. I love affirmations. My mom used to subscribe to something called Creative Thought, and it was just this little booklet, and it had affirmations for every day. And I remember even years after she got those and passed them on to me, I would just read through them. And it's because, I mean, it's the feeling, the feeling that changes. It's like, it is possible. Things are possible. I don't know. It's a different feeling when you really can believe in the affirmations that you're saying.
And if you can't believe in it, lean into the possibility that it may happen.
Yeah. So important. And that's that bridge, right? That's that
bridge. Yeah, that's the very powerful bit. And if you can just also hold the energy of laughter and joy, and by doing that, think of your child laughing. Think of a really funny thing that happened. If you need to Google, YouTube, kids laughter, do it and listen to that. Bring that smile into your heart when you're placing those bridging affirmations. That frequency is dynamite. That's the law of attraction at its absolute most powerful.
That's great. I love that. Yeah, I like to do that too. I like to see I love animals. So I always see animals' faces and, my kids and my family, and just laughing, having fun. That's the good stuff. That's the stuff that life is all about, really.
Yeah. And that's when you set your goals and your dreams. That's when you set them, when you're in that vibrational frequency of joy and love. That's when you set it. And then the next important step is to collapse time, space, and dimension. Don't set it for 5 years' time or even 1 year's time. There is no time in our quantum field. Collapse it and bring it in now. Why wait?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I love that. I've never actually heard anybody say that. But it makes sense because there really is no time we made that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So
yeah, that's well and truly embedded in the reticular activating system. Well and truly.
And so that's how miracles happen in an instant. That's how miracles happen and synchronicities, right? That happen just.
Yeah. Well, how did we meet, Lisa?
Yeah.
There is. It's a beautiful world once we tap into the magic of it.
Yeah.
And look, some people may need some help to do that, and just look out for the people that inspire you. Yeah. They'll be the ones that will reach out a hand to you and help.
Yeah. Oh, it's so important. Now, you mentioned the law of attraction, but I know that there's something that you think is missing, that you feel that you teach is missing in the law of attraction. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I can. I actually cover this in a quantum dreaming module of my course. And I've just mentioned it briefly in the previous question because I hold nothing back. What you see, if I can share everything in 20 minutes, you're going to get the lot because there's no secrets. I just want everyone to evolve into their perfection as fast as they can. It's so important to me. That's the bottom of my heart, is to just watch people shine, and it's just such a joyous thing. You know that, Lisa.
Yeah.
So the thing that I feel is missing, and I said the collapsing time, that's a really big one. And of course, it's attaching the feeling. The feeling. So I read The Law of Attraction when it came out, The Secret, all that sort of stuff. I did. I practiced it for years and years and years, and I got constantly pissed off because it didn't work. It didn't work. And why? Why did it work for so many other people and not me? Because my belief system was pathetic, because I was told as a kid I was selfish and I was rude, and so many things that I took on as a belief because I didn't know any different. They must be true. These people I loved. It must be true. So I had a lot of work to do to unravel those truths, because I like the BS, belief systems are just bullshit.
Oh, you got to coin that. That's funny. I love that.
But it's so true. It's so true. So it's important to come back and say, is this true? Because it's not. And sometimes it could be collective consciousness that we're clearing for others. So you've got to come back to your heart and your truth. And the law of attraction just says that you can say this and it will come. Well, it will. If you attach the feeling and the vibration of love or above.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're super clear. Most people are doing life without even knowing where they want to end up.
And that's a starting point, right? Just to have a direction.
Huge. Yeah. It's like jumping in the car and putting into your GPS an address, and you go there and you don't make a wrong turn. You just get there. You know, your life needs a GPS destination. It needs to know where it's going so that the universe can align you in accordance with your dreams.
Oh, that's so beautifully said. It's like, it seems easy, and it's supposed to be easy, but we make it hard because of all the BS, right?
We do. Yeah.
We
do. We make it hard because most people feel they're not worthy. Yeah. And that's not fair on God, because He created you perfectly.
And so how do you strip away all of that? You know, because there is a lot of unworthiness. I'm not good enough. Just that all comes back to self-love. But how do you go from here to here?
Well, there's three questions that I like to ask when people feel those feelings of unworthiness. So what if that wasn't true?
I love what if. Yeah.
What would it be like? What would it be like if things were different? What would it be like if I could walk into that car and buy that top of the range car on that showroom floor for cash and drive out in it? What would that be like? Can you feel the vibrational energy shift with that?
Oh, yeah.
Rather than sitting out the front thinking, with a broken down car, thinking, geez, I wish I could have one of those.
Or I'll never have that. Yeah.
I'll never have that, yeah. And the third question is, how would it be? How would it be? How would it be to be the creator of your show, Lisa? You know how that is. How would it be for any of your listeners that dream of having a show like yours? How would it be to be the one doing the interview? You know, it's amazing. The energy just, it pops, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With those three questions.
I like how I love those three questions, because it gets you to the point where your frequency does go up, where you can feel, where you have that shift, where you can feel it. And I think we don't allow ourselves to dream past that, to dream, period. I mean, it's like there's something out there that we want, and our brain immediately says, no, you can't have that. That's not for you. Or whatever.
Right. Oh, who are you to think you could have that?
Yeah. So those three questions really open things up for you. Thank you.
It is. The key is mindful diligence. You have to be present all the time, and you have to be excited when you catch yourself going down the wrong path, because that's a win. Every time you catch yourself, it's a massive win. and you deserve to celebrate that. That is how you shift your frequencies really fast. That's how you grow exponentially fast.
Is just being aware that you've made this detour and you need to
course correct. Absolutely. Jump back on a different road. Catch yourself. Smile. Shit, I did it again. So what? But I caught myself this time. How cool am I? You've just got to get this brain shifting and firing differently so that automatically it eventually starts to fire the way that it needs to for your life to shift.
Such great stuff here. Oh my gosh. I love everything that you said. I haven't taken notes, but I'll have to rewind and take some notes. And I think these are great practical tips for the listeners. I mean, they're things that people can actually do and take in and use in their own lives. So thank you so much for sharing all of your wisdom with us. My goodness. So talk a little bit, we have a few more minutes, about people that are ready to get off the roller coaster of life, people that are ready to really maybe have a direction.
Then they're already there. If they're ready, they're already there. So collapse the time and the space and believe it. Start living that life from that space.
Wow. Just like that. Yeah.
I know it sounds really simple, and yes, I would love to repeat those 3 questions again. Start living with those in your mind. What if things were different? What would it be like to own your dream home, to drive your dream car, to have your kids in private school, to be out of debt? What would it be like to not have the sheriff knocking on your door? How would it be if you were... How would it be if you lived on an island that you just bought for cash? I mean, people do that. Why not us? Why not you?
I just feel that space open up. I mean, it's like you can actually breathe when I've written pages and pages and pages of what ifs. And it's so much fun because it gets your mind going, but those other 2 questions are just even farther beyond that. So I'm excited to try that. That's really great because I can feel it. I can feel it open up.
Yeah. I'm glad.
Yeah, that's good stuff. My goodness. Let's see. Was there anything that I wanted to ask you? So I think we've touched on this. The most important thing that people can do right now is just to do it, right? Just to do it.
Yes. Just step into the possibility and don't accept anything other than what you do want, and be really clear with that.
And just one little question, because I think maybe some listeners are having this question. When you say just step into the possibility and just like instantly shift, there's going to be an automatic resistance coming up, right? How do you get past that? Is it just the repetition of doing it?
It's that mindfulness. It's if that resistance comes up. So the voice in your head that's insistent, that's rude, is your ego.
Yeah.
And your ego can be a blessing or the devil. Okay, I've trained my ego to be a blessing because we don't want to lose a part of ourselves. We've got to bring everything together. We've got to bring our inner child out to play. We've got to do all of the times we've been hurt and damaged and crushed in our lives. A little part of us is left because it's got too hard to live in this vessel. So we have to nurture all of the pieces back together. And I do that with my healing. When clients come to me for mindset mastery, they get healing. It's all a healing journey. And it's a journey of self and soul mastery. That's exactly what it is. And just by accepting being in the present, once you feel that shift, if you hear that voice inside that says, Lisa, keep going. You know that's your intuition, that's your inner guidance, keep going. But if it says, Lisa, you're stupid, then BS, get out of here.
I love that. It's such a clear example, though. But I mean, that's what it sounds like in our heads, right?
I've had it for years.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's just tuning in and being present, treating yourself with as much respect as you do those you love.
That was a big one for me until I was well into my late 40s. I think I took care of everybody else, ran around, and I would put me last all the time. So that's a big one for me to have. I mean, that's been one of my big lessons in life, is to me first. I get to take care of me.
Oh, and I say this all the time. I love you, but I love me more.
Yeah. Yes. And you know what? And I'll never go back.
No. Because it gives everyone else around you permission to love themselves as well. So we all step up. We all grow.
Yeah. I love that. So, Michelle, tell people how they can find you and what kind of, what programs you have, if there's anything you want to talk about as far as your programs, and then I know you have a free gift for our listeners too.
I do, and I'd love to just go straight to the free gift, if that's all right, because my heart wants to give. And if anyone wants to learn more about what I do, I'm very easy to find. Just Google Michelle Reinhardt and you'll find me. The free gift is a 6-minute powerful meditation that's guided with the violet flame of infinite perfection. So my gift will help you clear off the crap of the BS. It will put you into a very, very beautiful space of releasing and receiving. So it's really an energy clearance, an alignment, and a reboot in 6 minutes flat.
Wow.
And it's really, really beautiful. So I'd love for people to become at peace with their I am presence. Yeah. And then the I am presence of all humanity, because we all beat from the same heart.
Yes, that's so beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you so much, Michelle, for your wisdom. This has been amazing. I mean, of course we could talk forever. I know we could.
We could. And we will.
Maggie, did you have any questions? You're muted. There you go.
No, she answered the question. Yes. I was just wondering what was the 3 questions, and I think you asked the question about how do you be in the now. Just get it now, instead of like, I want something on January 30th. You say now instead of January 30th. Is that what you were saying, Michelle?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Maggie. Why wait?
Yeah.
Why wait?
Why wait? We might not be here tomorrow. We might not be here on January. Who knows? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just get the ball in the motion, and then look out for the signs that are around you that it's coming.
Okay.
So much wisdom in this. I think the listeners are going to want to keep going back and listening again and again and again. So the article will be below, and we'll have ways that you can get in touch with Michelle and download her free gift. And I just want to say thank you so much, Michelle, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for this wisdom and
Thank you, Michelle,
for putting it out to the world.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And listeners, thank you so much for being here. The show would not be anything without you. So thank you for being here. Come back for next episode. We're going to have another great episode of the Empowered Living Show, and I will see you all then. Bye.